It is important to note that ghost sightings and paranormal activities are not scientifically proven, and there is no evidence that ghosts or any other paranormal entities exist. The concept of ghosts, spirits and other supernatural entities often refers to cultural beliefs, folktales and superstitions, rather than scientific facts. Having said that, there are some historical events or legends that have been passed down and considered as the most famous ghost appearances. Let us see 5 such events. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and press the like button. Share it with your friends and families. First event, the Amityville Horror House. The Amityville Horror House is a house located in Long Island, New York, that gained notoriety in 1975 when the Lutz family claimed to have been terrorized by ghosts and other paranormal activity. The house was the scene of a gruesome murder in November 1974, when Ronald DeFeo Jr. killed 6 members of his family in the house. The Lutz family moved into the house the following year, and they claimed to have been haunted by the spirits of the deceased DeFeo family members. They experienced strange noises, cold spots, and ghostly apparitions, as well as being physically attacked by unseen forces. They also claimed that the house had a powerful, evil presence and that they were constantly being watched. The Lutz family's claims were later turned into a best-selling book, The Amityville Horror, by Jay Anson, and several movies. However, many of the claims made by the Lutz family have been debunked by subsequent investigations, and it is widely believed that the events were hoax. Some investigators and experts have claimed that the Lutz family made up the story for financial gain, and that the events were based on a combination of imagination, exaggeration and outright fabrication. It's worth noting again that the Lutz family's claims are not scientifically proven, and there is no evidence that ghosts or any other paranormal entities existed in the house. It's considered as cultural beliefs and folktales rather than scientific facts. The Amityville Horror House remains one of the most famous haunted houses in the world, and it continues to attract visitors and paranormal enthusiasts to this day. Second event, the Winchester Mystery House. The Winchester Mystery House is a mansion located in San Jose, California, USA. It was built by the widow of the inventor of the Winchester rifle, Sarah Winchester. The house was under construction for 38 years, and it features strange and unusual architectural features, such as staircases that lead to nowhere, doors that open to walls, and windows that look into other rooms. The house is also said to have been built with a certain number of rooms, windows, and doors to confuse spirits. Sarah Winchester was convinced that the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles were haunting her, and she believed that if she kept building, the spirits would not be able to find her. She also believed in the power of numbers and incorporated them into the design of the house. It is said that she would consult with psychics and mediums to determine the house's design and construction. The house has 160 rooms, including 40 bedrooms, 2 ballrooms, and 47 fireplaces. It also has a seance room, where Sarah Winchester would communicate with the spirits, and a number 13 window, which is said to be the number of witches in a coven. The house is also said to have secret passageways, hidden rooms, and trapdoors. The Winchester Mystery House is a popular tourist attraction, and it is open to the public. Visitors can take a guided tour of the house and see its strange and unusual features. It's considered as a cultural and historical place, and the stories and legends around the house are part of its history. The house is also a national landmark, and it's an interesting destination for those visiting San Jose, California. Third event, the Island of the Dolls, Mexico. The Island of the Dolls, also known as Isla de las Muñecas, is a small island located in the Xochimilco canals of Mexico City. It is known for its hundreds of creepy, disfigured dolls hanging from the trees and scattered throughout the island. The island was owned by a man named Julian Santana Barrera, who claimed that the dolls were possessed by the spirit of a young girl who drowned in the nearby canal. He began collecting dolls and hanging them on the island as a way to appease the spirit and keep her at peace. After Julian's death, the island was inherited by his family, and it became a tourist attraction. Visitors to the island can see the dolls hanging from the trees, and some of them are quite disturbing. The dolls have missing limbs, blank eyes, and some have been disfigured in various ways. The island also has a small museum that displays some of the dolls and tells the story of Julian and his obsession with the dolls. It's worth noting that the story of the drowned girl is not confirmed, and it's considered as part of the legend and cultural beliefs rather than scientific facts. The island is a popular destination for those interested in the macabre and the eerie, and it's an interesting destination for those visiting Mexico City. Fourth event, the Tower of London, England. The Tower of London is a historic castle located in the heart of London, England. It has a rich and complex history that spans over 900 years. The castle was originally built by William the Conqueror in 1066 and was used as a royal residence, a prison, a treasury, and a menagerie among other things. It's also famous for being a royal palace, where many monarchs lived throughout the centuries. One of the most well-known aspects of the Tower of London is its reputation as a prison. Many famous and infamous figures were held at the tower, including Anne Boleyn, Sir Walter Raleigh, and Guy Fawkes. Many of these prisoners were executed within the castle walls, and their spirits are said to still haunt the tower to this day. Visitors to the tower can take a guided tour that includes the White Tower, the Bloody Tower, and the Traitor's Gate, where many prisoners entered the castle. The Tower of London is also famous for its collection of crown jewels, which is on display in the Jewel House. The collection includes the crown of Saint Edward, the imperial state crown, and the sovereign's scepter with the cross. It is also home to the famous White Tower, which houses the royal armories, and the medieval White Tower, which is home to the famous yeoman warders, also known as beefeaters. The Tower of London also features several ghost stories, including that of Anne Boleyn, who is said to still wander the White Tower where she was held before her execution. Visitors have reported seeing her ghostly apparition, and some have even claimed to have felt her presence. Another famous ghost story is that of the White Tower's White Lady, who is said to be the spirit of Queen Anne Boleyn. Visitors have reported seeing her ghostly apparition, and some have even claimed to have felt her presence. It's worth noting that while the Tower of London has a rich history and interesting stories and legends, there is no scientific evidence of the claims of paranormal activity in the castle. It's considered as cultural beliefs and folktales rather than scientific facts. The Tower of London is a popular tourist attraction and a must-see for those interested in the history of London, the monarchy, and the castle itself. Fifth event, the Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. The Edinburgh Castle is a historic fortress located in the heart of Edinburgh, Scotland. It sits atop an extinct volcano and is one of the most iconic landmarks in Scotland. The castle has a rich and complex history that spans over 900 years. It was originally built in the 12th century and was used as a royal residence, a prison, and a military fortress among other things. It has been the site of many historical events, including sieges, battles, and executions. One of the most well-known aspects of the Edinburgh Castle is its reputation as a prison. Many famous and infamous figures were held at the castle, including William Wallace, the Scottish patriot who led the struggle for Scottish independence, and the Jacobite leaders who were held after the Battle of Culloden. Visitors can take a guided tour that includes the Great Hall, the Scottish National War Memorial, and the 1 o'clock gun, which is fired every day at 1 p.m. The castle is also famous for its collection of Scottish regalia, including the Stone of Destiny, the Honours of Scotland, and the famous 1 o'clock gun. Visitors can also see the famous Half Moon Battery, which was built in the 16th century and offers great views of the city. The Edinburgh Castle is also famous for its ghost stories, including the story of the Piper of the Castle, who is said to have disappeared in the castle's tunnels. Visitors have reported hearing strange noises and unexplained piping coming from the castle's tunnels. Another famous ghost story is that of the Headless Drummer, who is said to be the spirit of a drummer who was executed for falling asleep on duty. Visitors have reported seeing his ghostly apparition, and some have even claimed to have felt his presence. It's worth noting that while the Edinburgh Castle has a rich history and interesting stories and legends, there is no scientific evidence of the claims of paranormal activity in the castle. It's considered as cultural beliefs and folktales rather than scientific facts. The Edinburgh Castle is a popular tourist attraction and a must-see for those interested in the history of Scotland, the monarchy, and the castle itself. In conclusion, the Winchester Mystery House, the Edinburgh Castle, the Tower of London, the Island of the Dolls, and the Amityville Horror House are all unique and interesting places with rich and complex histories. Each of these places has its own set of legends, ghost stories, and mysterious events that have captured the imagination of people for decades. While there is no scientific evidence to support the claims of paranormal activity at these locations, they remain popular tourist attractions and fascinating places to visit. If you're interested in history, architecture, or the paranormal, these places are definitely worth checking out. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed learning more about these mysterious places. Thank you for watching the video.